Have you ever wondered why the concept of God has persisted across cultures, civilizations, and millennia? Why do humans, despite our advancements in science and technology, still wrestle with the idea of the divine? What does it mean to confront the ultimate questions of existence, morality, and meaning? In his profound and thought-provoking book, Who Wrestle with God, Perceptions of the Divine, Jordan B. Peterson takes us on a journey through the depths of human consciousness, mythology, and spirituality. He explores how our perceptions of the divine shape our understanding of reality, our sense of purpose, and our ability to navigate the chaos of life. This is not just a book about religion. It's a book about the human condition. It's about the stories we tell ourselves, the symbols we live by, and the eternal struggle to find meaning in a world that often seems indifferent to our existence. So, whether you're a believer, a skeptic, or somewhere in between, join me as we dive into this extraordinary exploration of the divine. Let's wrestle with the big questions together. Jordan Peterson begins by introducing us to the central metaphor of the book, wrestling with God. This idea is drawn from the biblical story of Jacob, who wrestles with an angel, or perhaps God himself, through the night. Jacob refuses to let go until he receives a blessing, even though the struggle leaves him permanently marked. Peterson uses this story as a lens to examine the human condition. He argues that wrestling with the divine is not just a religious act. It's a psychological and existential one. It's about confronting the unknown, the chaotic, and the transcendent. It's about grappling with the parts of life that don't make sense and emerging transformed by the struggle. He writes, "To wrestle with God is to confront the limits of your understanding, to face the chaos that lurks at the edges of your ordered world, and to emerge with a deeper sense of purpose." This chapter sets the stage for the rest of the book, inviting us to consider how our own struggles, whether with faith, doubt, or the challenges of life, are part of a larger, timeless human endeavor. In the second chapter, Peterson delves into the role of myth and storytelling in shaping our perceptions of the divine. He argues that myths are not just ancient tales. They are profound expressions of human psychology. They help us make sense of the world, encode moral truths, and provide a framework for understanding the sacred. Peterson draws on examples from various cultures, from the Norse myths of Odin to the Hindu stories of Shiva, to illustrate how different societies have personified the divine. He explains that these stories are not just about gods and heroes. They are about us. They reflect our deepest fears, desires, and aspirations. He writes, "Myths are maps of meaning. They guide us through the chaos of existence, showing us where we've been, where we are, and where we might go." This chapter challenges us to see mythology not as outdated superstition, but as a vital tool for navigating the complexities of modern life. One of the most profound questions Peterson tackles is the problem of evil. If God is all-powerful and all-good, why does suffering exist? This age-old question has puzzled theologians, philosophers, and ordinary people for centuries. Peterson approaches the problem from a psychological perspective. He argues that evil is not just an external force. It's a part of human nature. We all have the capacity for cruelty, selfishness, and destruction. But we also have the capacity for goodness, compassion, and creation. He writes, "The struggle between good and evil is not just a cosmic battle. It's a personal one. It's the choice we make every day to confront our own darkness and strive for the light." This chapter is both sobering and hopeful, reminding us that while evil is real, so is our ability to overcome it. In this chapter, Peterson explores the distinction between the sacred and the profane. He argues that the sacred is not just about religion. It's about what we value most deeply. It's about the things that give our lives meaning and purpose. The profane, on the other hand, is the mundane, the trivial, the things that distract us from what truly matters. Peterson warns that in our modern, secular world, we risk losing touch with the sacred. We fill our lives with noise and distraction, but we hunger for something deeper. He writes, "The sacred is not something we can afford to ignore. It's the foundation of our values, our relationships, and our sense of purpose. Without it, we are adrift in a sea of chaos." This chapter challenges us to reflect on what we hold sacred and how we can cultivate a deeper connection to the divine in our everyday lives. Peterson turns his attention to the role of the individual in the search for the divine. He argues that each of us has a unique relationship with the sacred, shaped by our experiences, our struggles, and our choices. He emphasizes the importance of personal responsibility in this journey. We cannot rely on institutions or authorities to define the divine for us. We must wrestle with it ourselves. This is both a daunting and empowering idea. He writes, "The divine is not something you can passively receive. It's something you must actively seek, confront, and integrate into your life." This chapter is a call to action, urging us to take ownership of our spiritual journey and embrace the challenges that come with it. In one of the most moving chapters of the book, Peterson explores the transformative power of suffering. He argues that while suffering is inevitable, it is not meaningless. It can be a catalyst for growth, insight, and transformation. Drawing on examples from literature, history, and his own clinical practice, Peterson shows how individuals who confront their suffering with courage and honesty often emerge stronger and wiser. He writes, "Suffering is not just a curse. It's a crucible. It's the fire that tempers the soul and reveals the depths of our resilience." This chapter offers a profound perspective on one of life's most difficult experiences, reminding us that even in our darkest moments, there is a potential for light. In the final chapter, Peterson brings the journey full circle. He reflects on the importance of returning to order after the chaos of wrestling with the divine. He argues that while the struggle is necessary, it is not an end in itself. The ultimate goal is to integrate what we've learned into our lives, creating a new sense of order and meaning. He writes, "The divine is not just something we wrestle with, it's something we embody." This chapter leaves us with a sense of hope and possibility, reminding us that the journey is ongoing and that each of us has the potential to find meaning in the struggle. And so, we come to the end of our journey through We Who Wrestle with God. Jordan B. Peterson has taken us deep into the heart of the human experience, exploring the timeless questions of faith, meaning, and existence. This book is not just a philosophical treatise. It's a call to action. It challenges us to confront the chaos in our lives, to wrestle with the divine, and to emerge transformed. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of ideas. And don't forget to leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on We Who Wrestle with God.